it in your hand, don't blame yourself. Blame the overeager, slightly incompetent psychic living in your skull who already predicted you'd put it down somewhere else. It's not your fault. Your brain is just a terrible author, writing your life story in real time. Number 5 is the placebo effect's awkward power. We've all heard of it. You get a headache, a friend gives you a super strength painkiller that's actually just a mint, and 10 minutes later, you feel fantastic. On one hand, cool, your headache is gone. On the other hand, your brain is apparently so gullible it can be tricked by a piece of candy. And science hates this. Scientists dedicated their lives to finding concrete, repeatable material causes for things, only to discover that one of the most powerful healing tools is just vibes. The placebo effect is the universe's ultimate prank on medicine. It proves that your brain can be persuaded to release its own natural painkillers, reduce inflammation, and even ease symptoms of serious conditions, all because it thinks it's getting real medicine. Your mind is like an overly enthusiastic intern, desperate to please. The doctor says, "Take this pill," and your brain goes, "Oh, a pill? Got it, boss," initiating the get better protocol. "No, I don't need to know what's in it. Your authority is good enough for me." This discovery is both amazing and deeply unsettling. It means that the intricate, multi-trillion-dollar pharmaceutical industry can sometimes be outmaneuvered by a sugar cube and a confident-sounding person in a lab coat. For science, this was like an astronomer spending 50 years building the world's most powerful telescope, only to discover they could see the stars better by just squinting really hard. It's a huge, inconvenient truth that our perception of reality is just as important as reality itself. Basically, science found out your body runs on a biological operating system that can be hacked with a good lie. There's a fundamental rule of the universe that sounds like it was written by a grumpy toddler. You can't look at stuff without breaking it. Seriously, this isn't a metaphor. It's a real, scientifically proven principle called the observer effect, and it's the bane of every quantum physicist's existence. Imagine you're trying to figure out what your cat does when you're not home. The moment you set up a camera, it just sits there staring at the lens, all of its chaotic, furniture-destroying majesty gone. Now, scale that up to the entire subatomic universe. At the quantum level, tiny particles like electrons exist in a fuzzy, indecisive cloud of possibilities called a superposition. They are neither here nor there. They are kind of everywhere at once. But the moment a scientist tries to measure one, to observe its position, the particle instantly snaps out of its weird ghost-like state and picks a single spot to exist in. The very act of looking forces it to make a choice. This drove scientists absolutely bonkers. They set out to find the ultimate, objective building blocks of reality, and instead discovered that reality gets stage fright. It's like the universe is a shy teenager that stops singing the second you open the bedroom door. This discovery was a massive blow to the idea that we could ever have a truly objective picture of the universe. We can't. The best we can get is a picture of what the universe looks like while it knows we're watching. So, everything we know about the fundamental nature of existence is based on a reality that has already been contaminated by our own curiosity. It's the ultimate scientific paradox. To learn about the system, you must interact with it, but to interact with it is to change it. Science basically learned that it's the ultimate cosmic party crasher. Picture this: you're staring at a vending machine, locked in an epic, soul-searching battle between getting the cheesy poofs or the chocolate bar. You weigh the pros and cons, you consult your inner oracle, and finally, with a triumphant sense of self-determination, you make your choice. It feels like the ultimate expression of your free will. Well, science would like a word, because it found something that suggests your brain makes decisions without you, and your conscious mind is just the last one to get the memo. In a series of now-famous experiments, scientists hooked participants up to brain scanners and asked them to do something simple, like flex their wrist whenever they felt the urge. What they found was a neurological bombshell. A specific spike of brain activity, a readiness potential, would pop up a full half-second before the person consciously felt they had decided to move. Let that sink in. Your brain had already started the engine, put the car in drive, and was pulling out of the driveway before your conscious self even woke up and realized you were going somewhere. This discovery was a gut punch to the entire concept of free will. It suggests that your feeling of making a decision is less like a king issuing a decree and more like a press secretary announcing a decision that was already made behind closed doors. You're not the one steering the ship. You're just the person on the intercom telling everyone which way the ship is turning, moments after the rudder has already shifted. Scientists went looking for the neurological spark of choice and instead found evidence that we might be living on a slight delay, experiencing a past that our brain has already orchestrated. Your consciousness is essentially watching a broadcast of your life that's on a 500 millisecond tape delay, thinking it's live. For centuries, we've been pretty proud of ourselves. We mapped the stars, split the atom, figured out the laws of motion. We basically had the universe on intellectual lockdown. We thought we were looking at the whole cosmic picture. Then, astronomy came along and informed us that everything we've ever seen, studied, or even conceived of, every planet, star, galaxy, black hole, and lonely space burrito, makes up a measly 5% of the total universe. Yes, you heard that right. Science discovered that the universe is mostly missing. When astronomers started looking at how galaxies spin, they noticed they were spinning way too fast. Based on the amount of visible matter, they should have been flinging stars off into the void like a faulty merry-go-round. The only way they could be holding together is if they were packed with some invisible, mysterious stuff with a whole lot of gravity. They called it dark matter. As if that wasn't embarrassing enough, they also noticed the expansion of the universe is accelerating, being pushed apart by an even more baffling, unseen force they creatively named dark energy. So, the final score is 5% normal universe, 27% weirdo invisible matter, and a whopping 68% pure, unadulterated cosmic mystery force. This was less a discovery and more a cosmic humiliation. It's like spending your whole life studying what you think is a dog, only to be told it's just the dog's left pinky toe, and the rest of the creature is an invisible, unknowable entity that's actively running away from you. All of human knowledge, all of our physics and chemistry, is based on a tiny fraction of what's actually out there. Science basically found out that we're living in the universe's crawl space, and the rest of the mansion is off-limits and possibly haunted. And finally, at number 1, we have the universe's inevitable, boring doom. For most of human history, we've wondered how it all ends. A big dramatic crunch, a reality-shattering cosmic event, something cool and cinematic. Nope. Science did the math, and it turns out the ultimate fate of everything is just a slow, cold, sad fade to nothing. The culprit is a little concept called entropy, which is basically the universe's unbreakable law that everything falls apart over time. Think of it like this. You can build a magnificent sandcastle, a state of order, but the tide and wind will always wash it away into a boring, flat beach, a state of disorder. The universe is that sandcastle. The second law of thermodynamics guarantees that energy always spreads out, things cool down, and order collapses into chaos. This isn't a theory. It's one of the most fundamental rules of physics. So what does that mean for the distant future? It means every star, including our sun, will eventually burn out. The galaxies will drift apart in the accelerating darkness. Matter itself might decay. Even the black holes will slowly evaporate over trillions upon trillions of years. The end of the universe won't be a bang. It will be the heat death, a state of maximum entropy where absolutely nothing happens. The entire cosmos will be a thin, frigid, endlessly expanding soup of dead particles, eternally at the same boring temperature, just above absolute zero. There will be no light, no heat, no movement, no life. Just a cold, dark, silent void, forever. This is arguably the most profoundly depressing thing science has ever discovered. It's the ultimate spoiler alert for existence itself. Every symphony ever composed, every empire ever built, every act of love, every shred of knowledge is just a fleeting spark on a fuse that leads to an eternity of cold nothingness. Science set out to find humanity's place in the cosmos and found a closing notice tacked to the front door of reality. So, there you have it. The grand finale of everything is just fizzling out. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.